saying is there's a neutral situation to us, me and you. We're looking at a situation of action and consequences that's neutral and doesn't matter.
Okay.
Two other men are looking at the same thing, and one of them decides that it's wrong, and then one of them decides it's good. Mm-hmm. Right? You're saying that, no, you're not. You're not saying that. Can there or can there not be a situation in this world like that?
I don't know.
Where there's something that happens that people disagree on what's the right thing to do, yes.
Well, in that sense, yes. But I mean, if we're...
But this is exactly what you would expect if morality comes from evolution.
Yeah.
I mean, you would expect that there's not going to be like a complete consensus on things. You would expect that there would be this general sense of fairness and that it's going to manifest differently within different cultures. What I wouldn't expect is that if a God on high is dictating rules, that what is the point of even having a capacity to evaluate things if I'm following a set of rules? And if that God tells me to do something and I don't evaluate it before I proceed with it, aren't I acting immorally? Shouldn't I be evaluating what I'm being told to do instead of just following a rule without question? Isn't it immoral
to simply... People do that all the time, and then they commit the crime because they evaluated it and thought they were right. Doesn't make them right.
I agree, but
yes.
What I'm saying is that if you simply follow the rules of some dictator and you don't question it at all, aren't you being completely not moral? You're not being moral at all because you're not evaluating what you're being told. So you would still have to, even if it was a God telling you to do it, you would still have to make a personal judgment in order to be a moral agent to say this is correct.
Religious
you would ultimately have to filter it through your own morality.
We're immoral unless we evaluate a moral decision.
Religious.
We don't, I mean. We don't.
If you don't utilize your moral judgment and you simply do what you're told to do, then you are not acting morally, you are not acting as a moral agent, and morality is not even involved there. You are simply trained.
You're a robot.
Because a person doesn't think or meditate on if it's right or wrong to go marry a 12-year-old girl in a different country.
People think about it all the time.
Huh? Sorry?
What do you mean people don't think about that? There's debates about it.
Morality, if they want to do it or don't want to do it based on, but on a moral point is what I'm saying.
People argue the morality of that all the time.
But because they don't, does it make them immoral because they're not gauging it? As, is this a moral? I
didn't say it makes you immoral. I said it makes you not moral.
In the sense that you are not making a moral evaluation.
Any morality.
You're not making a moral evaluation.
Yeah, you're not a moral agent. You're simply a dog not sitting on the couch because someone told you not to sit on the couch. You don't even know why. Divine
command theory, the religious proposition that God dictates morality, is in fact immoral, and it forces you to sacrifice your humanity and pollutes your moral compass because you are stuck doing whatever this God supposedly says is good, whether or not it's actually good. And we already know that there are, for example, commands in the Bible that are not morally correct.
So compared to America then, or any government that says don't do this, and then you sit down and you think about it before you decide.
Hey,
and
yes, Shane.
Conclusion that it's wrong.
Shane.
Yes,
Shane.
and we do, and we can change that. We change laws all the time. That's correct.
America isn't a God dictating
things.
Please
note that we no longer have slaves in this country.
We changed because we learned that it was wrong. Exactly where's your Bible that's updated to show that slavery's wrong?
It sounds like you're trying to claim objective morality and then saying the Bible, but it sounds relative. But then you're saying the Bible needs to be relative and needs to change via more insight or something? I mean,
yeah, simply asserting that those heinous rules in that book are moral and that you follow them because they're moral, and then saying you don't even question them or evaluate them and that you somehow think that makes you a moral being is completely nuts.
It means you don't understand morality.
I do question and evaluate the reasons.
Then you're following your own morality then, aren't you?
No, I would follow it whether I was right or wrong. The point of the
okay, so even if, so what you're saying is you evaluate it as a simple waste of time exercise, because even if God tells you to do something and you think it's horrible, you would still do it. Because you would simply say, I just can't trust my moral judgment, which means that you would proceed following an order that you have evaluated as horrible simply because you were told to, and you think that makes you moral?
Hold on.
You think it's evil evil, but you're going to do it because somebody told you and you don't understand why they're telling you to do it, but you just trust it's good even though everything in your being says this is the wrong thing to do. And you're saying that's a moral action.
Because, first of all, because I say it's wrong does not make it wrong. Let's make that
Correct,
clear.
but it makes it in your head, you only understand it as wrong. You can't see how it wouldn't be wrong, but you're doing it anyway, which means that you are basically saying, I'm throwing my moral compass out the window, my morality out the window, and just following an order.
It could be wrong, too.
It could be, but it's the only compass you have. And what you're saying...
True.
What do you mean?
The moral compass I have is, by the way, according to the Bible, which you're trying to discredit, I know that's where you're going, is depraved and lost, and it's full of sin and evil. There's no way it could understand good in the first place.
So then why do you evaluate these rules from God that you just told me earlier I do think about? Why do you even think about it if you know that your thoughts are corrupted and can't be trusted? Why even bother wasting an ounce of energy trying to decide if your actions are good or bad when you're simply going to follow orders in an unthinking fashion in the end?
And why do you believe?
You don't understand Christianity. The whole reason
I
Christians
do.
understand the morality.
I understand it. I understand that it's basically telling people to throw their morality out the freaking window and follow orders.
And why do you believe?
Wrong. And you're
No, it's not wrong.
saying that we're throwing morality out the window.
You are.
Wait. Did you say it's because she was brought up wrong?
I don't think that's what
Yeah, whatever Christianity she learned about isn't Christianity. The whole reason we can gauge.
We were the wrong type of Christians.
It doesn't matter because whatever Christianity I was raised in is irrelevant because you've already admitted that this is what the Christianity you believe in says. You basically said that you would throw your moral opinions out the window, that if something seemed just completely vile and evil to you, if God told you to do it, you would do it anyway because you do not trust yourself, which means that you are saying that people, although they are moral agents, it's an irrelevancy because they need to not use their morality. And they need to not morally evaluate anything. They need to just do what they're told and not think about it and throw their morality out the window. That is exactly what you said.
And what's Shane, and what's particularly ironic about this is that you believe your moral compass is polluted because that's what your book that wants you to obey is telling you.
Well, the other
I
issue...
can see evil in this world. I don't have to...
The other issue... Here's the other issue.
No.
Wait, I have a question. How did you come to the conclusion that your God is moral if you're not able to make a moral judgment?
Restate that question.
You think that your God is more moral than you, and if you can't trust your moral judgment, how do you know this God is moral?
The same thing I said to Matt. I can see in this world that there's a lot of evil, and when you look at man, you can see bad things everywhere. The natural question you come to is maybe you shouldn't trust, others or yourself on what's right or wrong.
That didn't answer her question.
But you're
You
saying...
have your own moral code that you break all the time.
No, that's
You have decided that this God is the moral compass to follow, and what I'm saying is, how have you determined that this God is moral if you have no way to morally evaluate it?
Hey, listen, I can tell you this. He's definitely more moral than us. Have you looked at
How do you know? You have no trustworthy morality, so how can you make an evaluation that it's more moral than us?
What are you talking about?
You said your morality is corrupted and not trustworthy. And now you're saying this God is more moral than us, and I'm saying how did you evaluate that since you have no trustworthy morality?
When we do and say and think the same things that we say is good, that's also imprinted on the morality of God that's given to us.
Then why do people all think different things are moral? And
because of corruption, because of depravity, because no one.
Can you trust your moral judgment?
I trust God's moral judgment.
Okay, then you made a judgment that this God is moral, and I'm wondering if you don't trust your moral judgment, how did you make that judgment?
That's not a moral, that's an intellectual judgment.
You're saying he's moral, so it is a moral judgment. How did you evaluate God as moral if your capacity to evaluate morality is not trustworthy?
Okay, this is where it goes back before where I said you didn't understand Christianity.
Shane.
No.
Shane.
Listen, you're not letting me finish.
Shane, you're damn right I'm not. Shane, Christianity is irrelevant to this. It wouldn't matter if you were a Buddhist, a Hindu, a Muslim, or whatever making this claim. You have asserted that
Correct.
you have a corrupt moral compass, and then you have also asserted that you have made a valid moral determination about another entity. Those two statements are in direct conflict.
A complete and corrupt moral compass until the supernatural moral entity decides to fix it.
How do you know it's
and gives
fixed?
you clear and foresight.
How do you know it's fixed?
It's
Because
not. Well, it's not fixed because you've already said that if God tells you to do something, even if you felt like it was wrong, you would still do it. So you've already said previously that you still, even as a Christian, you don't trust your moral judgment.
Because.
And I apologize, Shane, but go ahead.
No, it's okay. You apologize for.
Because we've almost completely run out of time. You've dominated the entire show to tell us how immoral you are.
That's very funny. So you don't think you're immoral in any way? Let's put it down, please. You don't think you're immoral?
I absolutely.
You think you're evil?
I absolutely think that I have done many things that are immoral.
Immoral. So you admit that you're evil too. That's pretty much it. You admit by your own conscience.
Well, I don't know that that's a necessary, accurate summation. The fact.
Yes or no? You've done bad things that you've committed.
This would be fun. Have I done bad things? Yes, I already said so.
Okay, so by your own admission, you're a bad person.
No.
He's done good things. Does that make
I've done
him a
good things.
person?
Yeah. Does that make me a good person?
I mean, how many times do you have to do a bad thing to be a bad person?
How many times
I
do you
don't
have to do
know.
a good thing to be a good person?
You're the one coming up with this this kind of simplistic structure. So you tell me, how many bad things do I have to do versus how many good things in order for you to qualify me
Well,
as
you
a
know
good
what
or
they
bad
say,
person?
screw one sheep,
It sounds like
right?
you're dodging my question.
No, well.
You just asked me a question instead of answering mine, which was, you admitted you did a bad thing.
Hey, when did you stop beating your wife? Oh, you don't want to dodge that question? I'm pointing out that your question's stupid. It is ill-formed. It does not have enough information. The fact that, hey, have you ever done anything bad? Yes. Well, then that makes you a bad person. Does it? Does it really? Does doing something bad? Isn't there some sort of scale? I'm asking questions to follow up.
Prove it, doesn't it?
So don't accuse me of not answering your question when I answered it and asked a follow-up. If you're dishonest again, I'm just going to write you off as too damn immoral to even talk to.
Well, we're almost at the end of the call anyway. I mean, we're at the end of the show.
Are you making a joke there? You just got done saying that.
I think it was tongue-in-cheek. I think you're more moral than your God, and you just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody is, but.
So why is God so immoral? First of all, why is God so immoral?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
Yeah, first of all,
I would love to know why he's so freaking immoral.
I don't think that God exists, but if we're talking about the God character in the Bible
Right.
as God is represented,
As he's written, it's horrible.
You know, it's a pretty horrible, jealous, angry being that advocates slavery. I don't know why he's that way. Maybe he's
I
just
said
a
to
dick.
somebody earlier today that you either have a God who sends child rapists to rape children, or you have a God who simply watches it and says, when you're done, I'm going to punish you.
Does child rapism make you mad, Matt? I mean, do you hear about that and get angry? Yes or no?
What?
Do you get angry when you hear about a child rapist?
Yes.
Well, so why shouldn't God get mad when he hears about evil in this world? You tell me that.
If there was a God and he heard about evil in this world, I think he should get mad.
Well, here's the thing, though.
What the hell's that got to do with anything?
If I were in a situation where I could stop a child rapist, I would. That's the difference between me and your God.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again?
If I could stop a person from raping a child, I would. That's the difference between me and your God. He watches and says, I'm shutting the door and you go ahead and rape that child. And when you're done, I'm going to punish you. If I did that, people would think I was a freaking monster.
Yep.
First of all, you portray that little girl as someone who's innocent. She's just as evil
Well,
as
I was
you.
thinking it was a little boy.
Bye.
So
Goodbye.
children deserve to get raped.
Goodbye, you piece of shit.
And I would like to just say that, well, let me just say, I was raised in a different Christianity, and I think it was a better one.
Yeah. You know what? I was a better Christian than you when I was a Christian, and I still am.
Yeah.
Jethro in Houston, we only have like 30 seconds. I apologize.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry.
But your call was about morality, and that's what we've been talking about.
Did we answer
Yeah, I
it?
know. It was. I don't even know that I want to talk anymore. That was scary.
Oh,
Well, send me an email and call back another week.
we're sorry.
All right, you're going to cut me off
Or
in a second, right?
Yeah,
can
like-
we hold and do after show with him?
We can.
Well, stay on.
No, I have to go. They're
I
putting up the
can't.
credits. Tracy can.
I'll call back.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
So we got basically 2 calls in on this show.
That was an excellent call, though.
I loved it.
Glad we got to talk
Right
about
up to the
that.
point where he admitted what a colossal piece of shit that he is.
Loved it.
And actually, I think he's better than that. I think at that point he's flailing around making excuses because he's just desperate.
I love that call.
But thanks to everybody. I won't be here next week. I'll be in San Diego talking about morality.